Hello there and welcome. I'm Bob Proctor, and I'm going to share an idea with you that has literally changed my life. It's something that has evolved over the years. I've had some absolutely incredible mentors or teachers in my life, and I've been led to some pretty strong convictions over the years about what you and I are capable of doing. Unfortunately, I think many people go through life thinking some people got it and others don't. I've often said that most people are extras in their own movie. They make someone else the star and they never live up to their potential. See, the truth is, there's no one alive that can even guess at what you and I are capable of doing. The wisest scientist alive cannot guess at it. There's only two sources of reference we have to go to find out anything about ourselves. One's science and the other's theology. Now, both of these areas clearly indicate that you and I have infinite potential. Think of what that means for a moment. I've thought about it for a long time, and I've come to the conclusion I don't really know what that means. Infinite means no end. It just keeps on going. Doesn't matter how much we do, we can do more. Doesn't matter how well we do, we can do it better. All we have to do is take a look at world records and Olympic records in sports. Take a look at it in business. Take a look at what we have accomplished, the way we communicate today, the way we travel around the world. We're not living in the same world we used to live in. The world isn't getting bigger. The world's getting smaller. It's shrinking. And that's all because we're becoming aware of who and what we are. Well, you see, I have come to the conclusion that you and I are spiritual beings. Now, I would like to clarify something right at the beginning. I am not getting into religion here. First of all, I'm not qualified to talk about religion, but I believe I am qualified to talk about the spiritual aspect of our personality because I've studied it for 50 years in another year or two, and I've worked at it for 40 years. Every day, all day. I just keep working at this, and I have come to the firm conviction that you and I are spiritual beings. We live in a physical body. And I think most people grow up and they think this is who they are. This is not who they are. This is the house we're living in. This is a body. This is a molecular structure. We are really spiritual beings. Now, for my own, I honestly believe if your program of development doesn't have a spiritual foundation, it's incomplete. It can be a great program, but it's incomplete. Because you see, we have to go to the primary cause of results. Now, you and I have been created different than any other form of life on the planet. We were given creative faculties. They're intellectual factors. Now, it's a strange thing. I taught a seminar to a group of school teachers, a couple of thousand of them. It was a number of years ago. Not one of them could tell me what our intellectual factors were. Napoleon Hill, in his phenomenal research, he come out with something. He said an educated person is not necessarily a person with an abundance of general or specialized knowledge. He said an educated person is a person who has so developed the faculties of their mind that they can acquire anything they want or its equivalent without violating the rights of others. Now think about that for a moment. It's an astounding idea. I think we have to take a look at what education is. He points out that it comes from educo, the Latin meaning to deduce, develop, or to draw from within. It's not hammering information into our head. It's becoming aware of what we've got inside. Now, it's how we use these intellectual factors that's going to dictate our emotional state or the vibration that we're in. Now, this particular module that you're watching, we don't get into what the intellectual factors are. There's perception, the will, intuition, memory, etc. We will teach those in another lesson. And it's a phenomenal lesson. Either Paul Martinelli or myself will be sharing that with you. But it's how you're using your intellectual factors that's going to determine your emotional state. See, no one can upset you without your permission. This is phenomenal information. So let's investigate the spiritual side of our personality, since that's really where it's all at. You know, spirit is omnipresent. Spirit is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. Spirit is all-knowing. In other words, all the knowledge there ever was or ever will be is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. And Spirit's all-powerful. All the power there ever has been or ever will be is omnipresent. Do you know what that means? All the knowledge, all the power is within us. We don't get energy, we release energy. I was 74 on my last birthday. I got more energy than most people 24. I have no intentions of slowing down. As a matter of fact, the more I become, the more I speed up. See, we don't have to slow down. We have to calm down. We want to open up and let Spirit flow freely through us. Do you know, all the knowledge is everywhere present. The way to build the internet has always been here. We just weren't aware of how to do it. The way to fly airplanes has always been here. We just weren't aware of how to do it. We have been letting logic control us, and our paradigm controls our logic. We've got to get out of the box. We've got to get into ideas that are totally illogical. That's what Christopher Columbus did. That's what the Wright brothers did. That's what Gates did. Took us to a world outside and took a look and say we're all part of it. We've got this phenomenal power. Now, on the movie The Secret, I quoted Dr. Wernher von Braun. He's considered the father of the space program. He said that the natural laws of this universe are so precise that we don't have any difficulty building spaceships. We can send people to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second. He also said these laws must have been set by someone, which is an interesting point. See, I see the laws as the uniform and orderly method of the omnipotent God. A law is something that happens every time with every person everywhere. Well, one of the laws is the law of vibration. Now, the law of vibration operates on frequency. The law of vibration decrees everything moves, nothing rests. The wall that may be surrounding you right now is moving. If you took a microscope and looked at it, you'd see it moving. I've often pointed out in seminars that a body in a coffin is moving. They usually think I've really lost it at that point. But if you look at the remains on a corpse, you will see it moving. And if it wasn't, how would it ever change to dust? Now, that should keep you thinking for about 20 years. There are millions and millions of levels of vibration. We just got a few of them here on the screen. And let's think of this for a second. The highest part of you is the spiritual part, and the lowest part is the physical. Now, sitting right here in the center, the control panel in our life is what we've been given to choose with. We choose to grow or not. See, the basic law of life is create or disintegrate. Well, we've got this intellect, and if we use it properly, we will start to understand that every frequency is hooked up to the one above or the one below. Now, we're going to go a long way with this concept. That means that everything is connected. Everything, there's just one power, and everything we see is the manifestation of that power. But let's keep moving on here for a moment. Let's suppose we take a look and we see the S for the spiritual side, the I is for the intellect, and the P is for the physical. Now, let's take and activate our intellectual factors, one of them. And we activate it, and something in us starts to change. And we tap into the spiritual side of our personality. Where is spirit? Spirit's everywhere. Where's thought? Thought is everywhere. And we can think. It's the highest function we're capable of. And we pull the thoughts together, and we build an idea. And by holding on to that idea must move into physical form. Andrew Carnegie one time said, any idea that is held in the mind, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. Now think of this for a moment. The results in your life are the manifestation of the ideas that you have been getting emotionally involved with. We've got the ability to think. We can think of new ideas. We can start to look at ourselves differently. We can start to understand that we really do have infinite potential. And all those reasons why you can't win, throw them out. Accept these ideas of how you can. There is no one alive that can guess at what you're capable of doing. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to do exactly what the ideas you're emotionally involved with will dictate. Take a look at your results, and if you want to change them, start to understand this lesson. Understand it in depth. Understand about the phenomenal potential. You've got deep reservoirs of talent and ability within you. That's what the I-Learning is all about. It's helping you understand this. All the greatest teachers in the world have come together to share this with you for pennies. Cost of a good lunch. And you've got this every day, all month. Start to understand the spiritual truth about who you are and the marvelous mind that you've got. You are a creative being. You can create, and you are creating the life that you're living. If you don't like it, change it. I didn't like mine, and I changed it. Today, I'm happy, healthy, and wealthy. And you know something? I'm working on a great big new idea. And I know it's going to move into form. I want to suggest you do the same thing. This is Bob Proctor, and thank you.